Alright, welcome. I'm going to get right into a practice to open the shoulders, to relieve tension in all of these spaces. Remember, we'll focus a lot on the breath, the bandhas, and how to connect these deep inner locks to these deep tensions that we find. So, from a comfortable seated position, relax your shoulders away from the ears. Reach up through the crown of the head. Take a couple deep breaths to just find the capacity of how deeply in you can draw. Inflate by filling up the belly first, then the mid-chest, then the upper chest to find the full expansion. Every exhale, thorough, sitting up taller, relaxing the shoulders more. Invite in that breath with sound, that soothing, whooshing, that soft shushing, that quieting of the inner being. Be surprised at how deeply in you can draw on your breath. Be surprised by how much stiffness that you encounter. Anywhere you encounter that stiffness, just let it go. I'm going to start to move the shoulders a bit, just very small. Take some shoulders just back, alternating. Left side, right side, just small shoulder circles. Notice if there's any tension in the neck, in the throat. Notice what you find. Make those shoulders a little bit bigger. Let's go at the same time up, back, and down. Check in on the bandhas. Lift the Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor, drawing up and in on the perineum. Draw in on the belly button, pulling in toward the spine so you feel very engaged and long in the spine. Feel that activation of the organs and the abdominals pulling up and in as you're moving your shoulders and just seeing what's there. Alternate left to right. Find this space. Very good. I'm going to take the right hand, bring it up overhead. Bend so the elbow comes over the head and the elbow is pointing straight up from the crown of the head. And bring it so the space in between your ring finger and your middle finger go around the ear here. And just slowly letting the weight of your arm pull the right ear toward the right shoulder. Deep breaths in. Keep on thinking long through the spine, reaching from that base of the spine. Big breaths. Continue drawing that left shoulder away from the left ear. Breathing fully into the belly, the mid-chest, the upper chest. Notice you have the hinge of the chin. You can lower the chin or lift the chin to see where that directs the stretch into that left side of the neck. In every shape, always bring your attention back to the size of the inhale and the activation of those bandhas to create that internal massage. We'll release that right hand from the ear. We'll shrug the shoulders up, back, and down a couple times. Just see what has shifted. Let's inhale the left hand high. Bring that bend of the elbow directly over the crown of your head. Bring the ear in between the ring and the middle finger. And gently allow the arm, the weight of the arm to pull length between that right ear and the right shoulder. Find a nice long spine from tailbone up through the crown of the head. Notice whether that chin is tucked or lifted, and just see what that does to the stretch. And find space with the breath. Deep, loud, thorough breaths. Once again, be surprised by how much capacity your lungs actually has. Very nice. Couple more breaths here. Keep the bandhas in mind. As you release your hands, slowly bring the head straight up. Shrug the shoulders up, back, and down. Very good. We're seated here, but let's find some shoulder circles. Matter of fact, let's take it to a tabletop position. Get the full range of motion here. So from tabletop, we're going to inhale, raise the right hand high. Gaze up toward that upper hand. Start with some circles in the wrist. Keep on reaching to find space across the front of the chest. Notice how this relates to the shoulders. Check in on the bandhas. Counterclockwise circles with the hands. And invite in some slightly larger circles. Clockwise, counterclockwise. And just take your time. There's no rush. Feel all those little connections. From fingers to shoulders. Any snaps and crackles and pops, when done gently, are so good for you. We'll come back to a tabletop. Second side, we're going to make some circles. That left shoulder. Reach the left hand high. Roll out the wrist. Clockwise, counterclockwise. See how this all links back to the length across the chest. Invite in some shoulder circles. Just feel all those connections. You might be surprised by how much tension you're holding here. Clockwise, counterclockwise. Big circles, little circles. Just listen to your body. Connect it back to the breath and the bandhas. On your inhale, left hand high. Exhale, tabletop. Returning to a seat. Shrug the shoulders up, back, and down. Open that space around the heart. We're going to bring the right hand across the front of the chest. Left hand captures that shoulder, squeezing that right bicep in toward the chest. Lengthen the spine, connect to the breath. Take a couple breaths here. Second side, left hand comes across the body. Capture the right hand behind the tricep, pull the bicep in toward the chest. Extend up through the crown of the head. Couple deep breaths. I'm going to go a little deeper with this one. Eagle arms. Eagle arms is just a deeper idea of what we just did. Hold your left elbow straight out. Wrap the right elbow underneath it. Now, if you can only reach this far, just hug your elbows together. Hug yourself in like this. Deep breaths. If available, maybe you can wrap your wrists around each other. Maybe you can bring your palms to touch. Point the thumbs back toward the face. Gently lift the elbows so they're the height of the shoulders. Push the hands away from the face. Squeeze the elbows together. Reach up through the crown of the head. Lift the bandhas. Pull in on the mula bandha. Pull in on the belly button. Slight tuck of the chin. And breathe as you're squeezing your elbows actively together. You're going to feel a lot of activation here around the shoulder blades, through the chest, around the heart. Keep using the bandhas to find space and to inform this stretch. 3 more breaths. As you release, we'll take the second side. I'm going to just turn my body so you can see it from the side here. Bring the right elbow out. Wrap the left elbow underneath. Oh, wait a second. No, that is right. The opposite side. Just confused myself. Turn into the side. You can wrap at the elbows and the wrists and bring the palms towards each other. Lift the elbows to shoulder height. Push the hands away from the face. Keep squeezing the elbows towards each other. Lift the bandhas. Reach through the crown of the head. Tuck the chin. 3 deep breaths. This is a very engaged stretch, targeting the lymphatic system, creating a nice detoxification, a nice draining of that junk out of the nose. One more big inhale. Release the hands. So I'm going to turn around so you can see what the hands are doing. Inhale the right hand overhead. Bend the elbow. Bring the pinky to in between the spine, in between the shoulder blades on the spine. If you can't reach this far, that's alright. Just find what feels like a stretch. Find your edge, and you breathe there. Bring the left hand to the small of the back. Move that hand toward the other hand. As far as you can go, maybe grab onto the shirt so you can get some traction. Sit up really tall through the spine, reach through the crown of the head, and breathe. If available, maybe the hands can come together to create a bind. We want to push the back of the head into the forearm. We want to reach up through the crown of the head. A couple deep breaths. And just see what gives. Bandha's engaged. One more breath. Release the bind. Inhale, the left hand overhead. Bring the pinky in between those shoulder blades. Bring the back of the right hand to the small of the back or reach it upward. Maybe capture the shirt to create tension. Sit up tall. Or option to bind at the fingers. Press the back of your head into the forearm to really open up that shoulder. Relax the right shoulder away from the ear. One more, or 2 more big breaths here. Very good. Releasing the shoulders. Just point your arms out to both sides. Make cactus arms. Inhale, lift the chest, find a little back bend. Come back to center. Inhale, find a little back bend. Come back to center. Shrug the shoulders up, back, and down. And take a Shavasana. Lay down on your back. Find length through the spine, tuck the chin, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Notice how your shoulder blades are on the mat. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, soften across the front of the chest. Deep breaths. Just relax everything. Notice where there's length, where there's space, where there's heat. Anything where the work has been done, just notice it. Maybe your hands feel tingly. Maybe it feels like there's a draining happening in your arms. Just a few more breaths. Take a long body stretch, reach in all directions. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll down onto your right or left side. Come back up to seated. Bring your hands to heart center to close the practice. Namaste.